This video is made possible by the lovely people over on my Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the channel or you want to get your hands on some awesome high quality STLs, then please visit patreon.com/Will at Heroic Studios. What's going on, folks? Will at Heroic Studios coming at you with another video. My videos have been far and few in between, but I apologize for that. I have been very, very busy. There's a lot going on. But I wanted to make this video because I have been getting a lot of questions about how do I do my work, my modeling and stuff like that. Have I done helmets before? No, I haven't done helmets. Every time I've asked people what program they use to do helmets, they've always told me Blender. I hate Blender. I don't like using Blender. And I will tell you the reason why I don't like using Blender is because I have an engineer brain. I have to make sure that everything is going to fit, everything is going to go within tolerances, and you can't really do that with Blender. With Fusion 360, on the other hand, I can go ahead and match diameters, I can go ahead and make sure things are going to fit, I can go ahead and make sure that my tolerances are well within reason that my printers can produce, etc, etc, etc. So doing props and making swords and shields and stones and morphers and stuff like that, I can do that in Fusion 360 without a problem. But there is one hiccup that I haven't been able to learn, and that is doing helmets. I want to be able to do helmets. Problem is that I don't want to go ahead and do a helmet in Blender because it's such a pain in the ass. Have I sat down and looked at it and tried it? Of course I have, but I just don't like the way the interface works. Again, I need to be precise. I need to know how big something is, and I need to know if something is going to fit, not do a guessing check and then you get to the printer and it doesn't fit. Now, I might be misconstruing a lot, and if I am, please let me know in the comments, but if you are watching this video and you've read the title, that just means that I have figured out a way to do a helmet in Fusion 360. We're gonna jump in and we're actually gonna do a helmet right here, right now in this video, and I'm gonna show you how to use Fusion 360 to make a pretty dope helmet. All right, you good? You got it? Let's go choose our model that we're gonna be using. I've been in sort of kind of like a Spider-Man craze in the last couple months or so, especially with Spider-Man 2 coming out and now Across the Spider-Verse being on Netflix. And I gotta tell you, I watched that movie at least 5-6 times already, and I can't get Spider-Punk out of my head. This dude is so cool. He has a cool suit, he has a guitar, he has that cool British accent, and I thought about, you know, why not go ahead and do some of his helmets. Of course, if you're not subscribed to Yosh Studios Patreon, he's done a lot of the Spider-Man helmets, from Peter Parker to Miles Morales to Miguel O'Hara, to all these cool helmets that come with this texture that all you really need to do is print, assemble, and put on. There's no sanding, there's no painting, there's none of that. You just go ahead and print it and have it, and it's really cool. And I've done a couple of those, and I thought about it, and I wanted to go ahead and design my own helmet from some of these Spider people movies or whatever. So I've decided that I'm going to check out Spider-Punk and I'm going to see if I can go ahead and model his helmet right now in Fusion 360. But first, we need to check out and see if we can get our hands on a reference or something. All right, so let's go ahead and let's check that out. Let's see where we can find Spider-Punk, Across the Spider-Verse. What kind of references we can see here. Hello, my name is Toby Brown. My British accent isn't really good. All right, let's see if we can find some. This is a good reference here. You got some eyes. Spiderweb's not really that clear, but his spikes, I mean, compared to like other Spider-Punk iterations that I've seen, are very, very high. They're very, very long spikes. So I want to do that, and I want to make sure I do it right. See, like here, you have like little spikes, not really that big. But I want the Hobie Brown we saw in Across the Spider-Verse, because here we go. Need a good helmet, need a good reference. You're not gonna find the side-by-side references. Well, here's one. I might be able to work with this. Maybe, no, these are old designs. Okay, this might take longer than I thought. I might just go with this one. Yeah, pretty cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and save this image into my downloads. And we're gonna go ahead and open up Fusion 360. So let's get started. All right, sorry about that. Okay, here we are in Fusion 360. We have a fresh palette. We are going to go ahead and make this helmet. Now, you don't see my reference on the screen because I don't import references. The references that I get, I usually have it on another screen, and I just kind of follow it based on what I'm looking at. I've been drawing my entire life, so I can draw by sight. But if you do need a reference, if you can find a front and side view, go for it. So here's Fusion 360. here is your bread and butter. You probably looked at this thing and said, what the hell is this? I don't want to deal with this. This is your create form. And what does it create? Well, it creates a form. In other words, it creates a mesh. So like Blender has these meshes where you can import different shapes like cylinders, squares, toruses, and stuff like that. You can do the same thing here and basically play with it as though it's a mesh and shape it out. So we're going to go ahead and click on create form here, and we're going to create, and we're going to create a quad ball. Quad ball. I always do everything to the reference right here, to the origin, because you're going to do a lot of symmetry, you're going to do a lot of mirroring just to cut down on time and design time. So let's, oops, I did that wrong. Try that again. Quad ball, quad ball. We want the front plane, and we want this right here. There we go. So we're gonna blow it up just a smidge. All right, cool. Okay, okay. All right, so here we are right here. We have our quad ball where it needs to be, and we have our front, which is here. Well, actually, sorry, JK. And we're going to go ahead and hit okay. So here is your quad ball. This is where you're going to take this little mesh and shape it into the helmet that you want. But first, before we do that, we're going to go to home and make sure we have the front side located, and we're going to activate our symmetry here. So we're going to choose this side, and we're going to choose the other side, and you're going to see that green line in the center of here. That's what you want. So whenever you decide to modify or move anything, it does it unilaterally. You don't have to worry about one side being bigger than the other. Always, always, always add symmetry if you're trying to do a helmet. So now we are going to shape this helmet into a helmet. We're going to shape this quad ball into a helmet. So let's get to it. Okay, so we have our helmet kind of meshed out here. Now, before you do anything else, you want to make sure that whatever design for your helmet you're looking for, you want to make sure that it looks like a helmet. Like the side view looks great. To me, the front view looks pretty good. And then you have your top and you have your back. You want to make sure this looks really good. Now, as for the opening for the head, this is what I normally do. Let's go to OK here. I usually click these here and I subdivide these areas right here. Kind of give it more of a mesh sort of look. So it does actually kind of mess with everything here, but it gives it more of a sharper look to it. So if you want to go ahead and subdivide these first before you go ahead and start molding out your helmet, you can go ahead and do that. I normally go ahead and delete these two because we need an opening. So how are you going to get the head in without an opening? There you go. And then from there, just kind of go ahead and maybe play with these a little bit to kind of make them a little bit more smoother, I suppose. If you want to do that, it's up to you. I'm just going to kind of play with it a little bit. There we go. That looks good. There you go. You got your basic shape of the helmet down packed. There you go. Simple. Okay. Now from here, you're going to go ahead and click Finish Form, and that's going to deliver you back into the normal Fusion 360 menu or interface, whatever. And now you have your helmet. So now it's now a matter of basically adding in all the details. But before we go ahead and do that, we want to go ahead and give this thing some meat, because right now you're just dealing with a mesh. So we're going to go to thicken. I normally thick mine out about 3 millimeters. Give it some meat. 3D printing, so that way now you have some meat, you have a surface that you can play with. But keep in mind, this is only 3 millimeters, so if you want to add to it, go ahead. But for what we're going to be doing, a lot of the details are going to be kind of stemming on the surface of the helmet itself. So you're not going to be sitting here like cutting holes through things, stuff like that. You want to make sure that you have enough meat in order to make all the details, and all of that is going to seem like a lot of gibberish right now, but I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. All right, so you have your helmet. This looks really good. I can dig it. There you go. Now we got to start adding in the eyes and the spikes and all that fun stuff. So let's get into that really quick. So first, you're going to learn how to, you're going to have to know how to do a lot of plane offsetting. So right here, I'm going to take this front plane and I'm just going to move it on out in front. Doesn't have to be too far, just have to be far enough, because you're not going to be drawing on the surface, because there's no way to draw on the surface of Infusion 360. You need to put it out on the front. All right, so we're going to go ahead and draw on this plane. And I like to give myself a little divider line. This is another reason why you should add your helmet onto the origin, because that origin is going to give you a nice, simple cut in half kind of deal. And I'm going to go ahead and start drawing out Spider-Punk's eyes. So if you were to go ahead and look at my original drawing here, bloop, Spider-Punk's eyes are kind of straight, then they go up, over and around, and then down. So they're not quite Spider-Man eyes. They're kind of punk rock eyes. I don't know. I don't know what the design with this eyes are. Not a clue. The best part about this is that you are going to be doing a lot of mirroring. So you're going to be able to mirror from front to back, side to side, and you only have to do one feature basically once. All right. So let's go here, and we're just going to try and draw those eyes. So now to kind of make sure that we are all on the same page here, I'm just going to take this sketch, because we want to do the outline of the eye. We don't want to go ahead and carve a hole in there. We want to go ahead and copy this and this. And I'm in the wrong sketch. Did I finish sketch? I did. Sorry. Make sure you are in the sketch when you're doing this. So I want to go here, modify, I want to move and copy. I'm going to do all of this. I'm going to create a copy and move that out. And then I'm going to hit OK, and I'm going to scale this down. So I want to go ahead and scale. And I want to scale this down to about maybe 0.7. So that's not 3, 7, 7. Let's try 8. 9 maybe? 5. You want a nice, pretty decent size. I'm gonna go with 9. And then I'm going to take this and kind of sort of center it inside of the original one we drew. First I gotta connect these up. All right, so now for the next part, we're going to go ahead and take this sketch and we're going to emboss it onto the surface. Now keep in mind that sometimes embosses are very, very temperamental. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But when it does work, it looks freaking sweet. So if it doesn't work on the first time, kind of mess with your sketch a little bit. Maybe you have to shrink it down. Maybe you have to put it to a point where it is actually on your, like within range of your mesh in order for it to work. So what you want to do is go to create, go down to emboss, and you want to go ahead and select these sketch profiles, and we want the outside of the sketch profile, just like that. We're going to take that and we're going to take here. Oh, look, it did it. And we want to actually kind of go inward with the mesh, and we want to go in about -2 millimeters. Keep in mind that we only have about 3 millimeters of meat here. Okay, so we're going to go in 2 millimeters of meat, and we're going to go ahead and hit OK. So we have our emboss here. This is sort of like Hobie's outer portion of his eyes. All right, so here's the fun part of all of this. If you want to go ahead and do the other side, just go ahead and hit mirror. You want to mirror the features, hit that emboss, and then of course you want to select the plane, which again, another reason why you need to be drawn from the origin, and boom, you have your second eye. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Boom. Now we want to go ahead and kind of cut this part out here. So I'm going to go back to my original drawing here, edit sketch, and now I'm going to go ahead and do an extrude cut, and I want to cut through that. Now, if my calculations are correct, we should be able to just cut through this without messing up what we've done. And of course we messed up what we done. Alright, so that did not work out the way I wanted to, and this is the thing about making this mask the way you need it to, is that sometimes these things won't work out the way you want them to. So if I try to go ahead and cut through this like this, not going to do it properly because you did an emboss, and now you're kind of going along the curve here. So you're going to cut into that emboss, which is not what we want to do. So I'm going to have to sit here and figure this out. So bear with me while I try that. Alright, sorry about that. So I went ahead and redid the eyes because I didn't feel like the eyes were completely capturing Hovey's mask, and I don't even think that they still are, considering, like, you see that, kind of like that. I mean, his eyes are weird. They're not really all that, you know, Spider-Man-y, I guess is the word I'm looking for here. Or, you know what we can do? We just take these and do the perforations, make it look like, you know, like you're looking through. I think that could be better. That could be a better idea. We'll come back to that. If I figure something out, I will let you guys know. But as you can see, this right here is actually what we are looking for. Now, if we want to go ahead and reverse the emboss, we can go here and click this icon where it's deboss and have it actually be the cutout, because, you know, that's what I think ultimately this mask is, or helmet. Kind of gives you a better sort of look when it comes to that kind of deal. So yeah, we might be able to go ahead and, can we push and pull that out? Let's find out. I take this and just, yeah. Yeah, it looks kind of cool, but that's not what we want. But if we can go ahead and just go ahead and cut this out. So we can. Alright, so there you go. There's the eyes, there's the embosses. I'm going to figure out how to do the eyes in my next video, and then I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did. But those are the eyes. I'm still not 100% sold on these embosses or the shape of the eyes, to be honest. I don't think that is how they are supposed to look. But you kind of get the idea of how to add these details into that and all that fun stuff. Same process goes for, like, if you want to add the webbing to it, you know, that is how you would do that essentially, is use that emboss tool and have it do it. So now we can knock out the spikes, which comes over and above the head. So his spikes are really tall. So let's look at the video. Let's look at the reference again. Get over here. So his spikes are tall and they vary, it looks like. You don't have to do exactly as what they said, but you want to try and get it as close as possible. So this is when you just kind of sort of start the new sketch. You want to draw a spike, there you go. I'm going to make this about, I don't know, it's 20. Let's make it about 15. I'm going to extrude that spike up. And hide the main helmet. I'm going to draw here, and I'm going to go ahead and add this little key here, and now I can control it. Let's make it about 8 millimeters, and remember, we only have so much room to play with, so we can either go ahead and create a key that's going to fit there, or we can go ahead and make an arc cut that's going to go along the entire horn and have it just sit there on the helmet, matching the curvature of the helmet, which I think is better because remember, we only have 3 millimeters of meat. We don't have a lot of room to play around. So actually, I'm just going to go ahead and delete that because it seems like a better go. However, if it comes to 3D printing it, we might have some problems. Unless you resin print it, in which case you might have a better opportunity there. But delete. Let's bring it back to the front. Bring back the main helmet. We want to match the curvature of this helmet as much as possible. So this gives you the area here. Area equals pi r squared. You can figure out the radius from there and then match that radius cut out with this here. So if you want to go ahead and copy this, alright, so there you go. You have the spikes there, you have all this cool stuff, and I think I'm pretty much satisfied with how this looks right now. Not 100%, but hey guys, you know, this is a work in progress, and I'm going to show you how to finish it in part 2 of this video. So we got the basics down. You have the ability to mold a helmet, take a mesh, mold it into whatever you want it to be, make the embosses, go ahead and add any other details and features like the spikes, and then you have your basic helmet down. Now, to be fair, if you want to kind of take it, these spikes could have been done, and this is just me thinking out loud here. If we go back to edit the form, you can go ahead and just add a cylinder here or a cone. Do we have a cone? I think we have a cone. You can go ahead and draw a cone into the form and merge it here, and that'll be the rest of your helmet right there. So you have options. You can figure out how to do it that way or not. It's up to you. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that just like that. I'm actually kind of excited to how this is going to turn out. Just need to figure out how to do the eyes and how to do the rest of the helmet. I got an idea on how to do the web mesh, which I'm going to go over in part 2 of this video. So do make sure you do subscribe, because if you want to know how to do helmets over in Fusion 360s, this is the way to do it. And so I just showed you the basics on how to mold a helmet in Fusion 360. Like, I'm not a master at this. I'm still learning. I'm still playing with the program, but I wanted to share with you guys what I've learned. So if you might have discovered something that I probably need help with, or you feel as though I don't know, let me know in the comments, because I'm still learning this stuff. But for the most part, I'm really excited about this Spider-Punk helmet. I'm going to finish it up, and I'm going to show you how to add more details like the webbing mesh, the mesh of the helmet, as well as figure out how to cut out those eyes without harming the actual embosses that we made before. But for the most part, this is a very simple process. There's a lot to kind of unravel and unpack, and I'm pretty sure there's more techniques out there that I need to learn in order for this to work. So in part 2 of this video, I'm going to show you guys a little bit more as I dive deeper into what Fusion 360 can do in terms of making helmets. So that's it for today. I'm going to keep this as consistent as possible and come at you with another video probably later on this week, if not next week, kind of continuing on with the wake of this helmet, because I really want to wear this helmet. I'm so excited about it. So that'll do it for me, guys. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, leave a comment. Let's discuss this. If you guys know how to make helmets a faster, better way in Fusion 360, let me know. Of course, as always, special shout out to my patrons who are right here. And if you guys want to help me out and get some cool STLs, join my Patreon. We do a lot of cool stuff over there. STLs, we talk, we hang out, we exchange 3D print projects. It's a lot of fun. So go over there and check me out, and I will see you guys next time on another video. I also bought a new printer. More on that later. Check you guys later. Bye.